Well, hello there, traders. This is Art Dill for FuturesTradingCompany.net and a recap of our trading for May 3rd, 2012. We took one trade on the Globex last night for plus 26 points, and let me go over that one trade with you very quickly here. Right here, it was a trigger entry long, 13206. And I got two targets, one for 10 points, one for 15 points, and put a 15-point trailing stop on after I got the 15-point target, 13,221, and I went to bed. Ended up, that was basically a high of the move here, was 13,222, and ended up getting stopped out at 13,207. I found that out this morning. There would have been other opportunities to trade during the Globex session. Actually, could have taken a short at the break of this pivot with the trigger here and gotten one target, and then here again a long on a trigger again at 13,207 this time, and you could have gotten a couple of targets and 37. So that would have been about a 35-point total. You'd have gotten stopped out on the trailing stop. 37.27 at 22. So that would have been a nice. That would have been a very nice trade in the Globex. I will tell you, you guys need to take a look at the Globex trading. Oftentimes, you get moves like this. That was a nice upside move there, and not nearly as choppy as it is during the daytime. The next trade I want to go over with you was a news generated trade. It was the release of the initial claims this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 here on the West Coast. And for those of you who have seen me do this before, this is how I like to trade news. This was the spike up on the 1 minute chart, and you can see we reached a high of 13,248 from the low here of 13,321 at the start. And so how I like to trade these, as you've seen me do it before, is I like to take one contract at the 50% retracement, 13,234, and then I like to take one at the 61.8% retracement, and I got that one on 13,231. And then I also like to put the third one on at the 76.4% retracement, but we did not reach that on this one. And so then back up, I like to get 10 points on each contract. So I got this one off at 13,241, and I got this contract off at 13,244. So plus 10 and plus 10 on the two contracts. So I got 20 points on the news trade. Did not get a third contract on. Overall today we had a really good day. Total of 111 points, including the news trade and the rest of the trades I took during the regular session. 1-0 on the Globex for plus 26. That was the first Globex trade, by the way, that we've had this week. We have not had good setups for the period of time that I've been actually awake. So it was gratifying to at least get a trade in on the Globex this week. Let me show you this one trade, which was a losing trade, and it was pre-market. And Yeah, we'd had kind of a breakdown below here. Started to move sideways, and I had a trigger long right here. And so I took it as a breakout of this little pivot, got long at 13, 218. Only took that, however, with one contract. One, because it was pre-market, and it wasn't the greatest setup for a long in the world. So I only took that with one contract and ended up taking a 10-point loss on that trade. I'll go over two more of the trades we took. This was, again, a trigger long. 13,212 was the entry. This was after the market had opened, and this was as I say, a trigger long entry, 13,212. I took that with two contracts. I took one off at 13,219, and the other one off at 13,223. So a total of plus 18 points. And then the next trade I took was a short. And this was after the release of the ISM Services report, which was much weaker than expected. We got short here at 13,219. And you can see a big down move after the release of the report. And unfortunately, I only had two contracts on, and my targets were very narrow, as was really expecting the price to move pretty much sideways today in anticipation of the big jobs report tomorrow. So these kinds of moves were a little bit unexpected. I took 7 and 11 points on that trade, and I could have gotten a lot more had I had another contract on. I've got time to go over just a couple more of the trades we took. This was still in the morning, and it was after we had broken back up here above the 89 EMA. Price rolled back over, tagged the 89 EMA, a nice trigger long entry here, and that was a nice winning trade for us. And then one more right here. Again, a trigger long. This was at 8:16 in the morning. A trigger long 13,201. I got 13,208 and 13,212. So 7 and 11 points on that trade. In fact, 212, as you can see here, was the actual high of that particular move up. Then I'll show you this next trade, which I'm kicking myself for. This was a short, and I took this. This was a trigger right here, and we had put in a little bit of a pivot, so I just waited for the pivot to break. It broke right over here at 8:34 in the morning Pacific time. Got short at 13,200. And this actually, I took one one contract off at 200, and then I had a move up here. Not showing you, but I have a Hinkin chart also running on my other screen, and my Hinkin turned up, and I ended up getting out of the trade at 13,203. So that was one of the three losses I had, minus 3 points total. And as you can see, had I just left my trailing stop in place, the price after it stopped me out right at the high, 13,203, rolled over and just crashed lower. So missed a very nice short trade there. Trying to keep these videos to a maximum of 10 minutes in length, so that's really all the time I have for this one. I did post a video a little bit earlier today on an example of identifying chop zones, and take a few minutes, take a look at that video. I think you'll find it very interesting. Listen, that's all the time I have today. great trading today and looking forward to another great day tomorrow.